Hi, my name's Ken Stafford. I'm a maths tutor. I'm just going through the solutions to this paper I put together. I didn't write these questions. They're all from GCSE Edexcel maths papers. And there are 15 times that simplifying an expression has come up in the exams. So it comes up a lot. It's a very important topic, so you need to make sure you can do this. And I'm just going to go through how I would solve these questions and give you the answers. So hopefully this will be helpful for you. Question 1, we're just going to times the numbers together. 3 times 5 gives us 15. And then we're going to times the letters together. Now when we times letters together, F times G, we just write FG. It's as simple as that. So the answer is 15FG. Question 2, T times T. Now, as always in maths, there's a rule, but we don't now write TT. We write T squared, and the little 2 is telling us how many T's are being multiplied together. So if it was 4 T's being multiplied together, we'd put T to the power of 4. Part C, we need to simplify the top first. 2n plus 6n just gives us 8n. And 8n divided by 2, well, you just divide the 8 by 2, which gives you 4n. And that's question 1. Question 2 here is just collecting like terms. We're just figuring out how many y's are here. So we've got 1y plus 3y is 4y. And then we take away 2y. 4y, take away 2y, just gets us back to 2y. So that's the answer. And same here on question 3, we're just collecting like terms. I always just add them together to start with. So 3m plus 3m, that gives us 6m. You don't need to write this down. I'm just going to write it just to make it clearer. And then I'm going to add up the negatives. So we got minus m and another minus m, so we got minus 2m. So overall we got 6m minus 2m, which is 4m. And then multiplying together, so we're just going to multiply the numbers together. 2 times 4 is 8, and then n times p is 8np. When we times letters together, we get rid of the times symbol because it looks like an x, and we use x a lot in algebra, and we just stick them all together. 8np means 8 times n times p. And again, question 4, times the numbers together. 2 times 5 is 10, and then a times b is ab. So we end up with just 10ab. Just going to put those colours on just to make it clear. And then we're collecting like terms in part B. So we're just going to collect up the x's, 3x and 5x. It's a positive 5x because there's a plus in front of it, gives us 8x. And then we're going to do the same with the y's. We've got plus 2y and a minus y. Overall give us plus 1y. Now I'm not going to put the 1. It's implied. If we just put plus y, that means plus 1y. Question 5 here, we've got a little bit of index laws. P squared to the power of 5. Oh, I don't want to be in the highlighter pen. Let me change that. P squared to the power of 5 means p squared times p squared 5 times. And that means we're overall timesing 10 p's together, so p to the power of 10. We don't need to write out like that, I just did it to show you. You can just literally times the 2 by the 5 to give you 10. And part B can help to set it out like this. And what we're going to do here is we're going to divide 12 by 6. 12 divided by 6 gives us 2. And then we've got x to the power of 7 divided by x to the power of 3. When we divide, we subtract the powers. 7 take away 3 gives us x to the power of 4. And then we're going to do the same for the last bit. Just be careful here. There's a hidden 1. Y is y to the power of 1. So we're taking 1 off of 3, so we get y squared. So that's our answer. 2 times x to the power of 4 times y squared. Question 6, simply collecting like terms. Again, I would always collect up the positive ones. That 3e at the front is positive. There's no positive symbol in front of it, but it's implied. If it was negative, it would have the negative symbol in front of it. So it's 7e, take away that lone e. So we've got 7 e's, take away 1e, gives us 6e. Don't take the e off and just put 7, that's a common mistake. 7e, take away 1e is 6e. Question 7 here, we're collecting up the like terms again. Positive 3x plus 2x is 5x. And then when we do the same with the y's, we've got plus 5y and negative 4y. 5 take away 4 is 1, positive 1, so we got positive 1y. And we can't simplify that any further, that's just it. 5x plus y. And the last bit here, we've got an equation. So not technically this topic, but some of these questions overlap certain topics. This is solving an equation. When we solve a linear equation, and we know it's linear because it's p to the power of 1. The 1's not put there, but it's implied. We just make p the subject. So we take away 7. So 5p is equal to 15. And 1p is equal to 15 divided by 5 because we had 5 p's. 15 divided by 5 is 3. Remember, you can always check this by substituting back in. 5 times 3 is 15, plus 7 is 22, and then you know you've definitely got it right. Question 8 here, index laws. So when we multiply letters together, we add together the powers. So we're adding together the 3 and the 5, so n to the power of 8. That's because it's 3 n's multiplied together times by another 5 n's multiplied together. So overall, there are 8 n's multiplied together. Just going to draw this a bit bigger. So this line means that we're dividing. The divide symbol is a fraction. So we're dividing the top by the bottom. And with index laws, the way we do this is we subtract the powers. So c to the power of 3 divided by c to the power of 2, we take the 2 off of the 3, and we get c to the power of 1. We don't bother to put the 1, but actually, if you put it, doesn't matter. You can put it if you want. We just don't tend to bother. And then d to the power of 4 divided by d, and there's a hidden 1 on that d, so we have to subtract 1 from 4 to give us d to the power of 3. And that's our answer, cd to the power of 3. I might just get rid of that. So cd to the power of 3. Put it back on. Prefer it like that. Okay. And then the final part of this is solving an inequality. The first thing we've always got to do, you always want to get rid of fractions in equations or inequalities, and this means 5x divided by 2 is greater than 7. To get rid of something, you always do the opposite. So to get rid of that, divide by 2, I times by 2. So the left just becomes 5x. I have to times the 7 by 2. I have to do the same to the other side. So it's greater than 14. And then I have to divide 14 by 5. Ways of doing this, 14 divided by 5 is the same as 28 divided by 10. I've doubled top and bottom. 28 divided by 10 is 2.8. It's really important that you keep the inequality symbol there. If you put x equals 2.8, you're going to lose a mark. That inequality symbol has to be there. Question 9, multiply together the numbers. So we've got 7 times 8, which is 56. And then we multiply together the E and the F. And all you do when you're doing that is just put them together. E times F is EF. And then we've got a little equation here. To get rid of that divide by 5, it's always what you want to do first. I'm actually going to do a few things. I'm going to make 2.5 2.5. To get x on its own, I've got to times both sides by 5. 5 times 2.5 is 12.5. So x equals 12.5. Question 10 here, these should be things you can do quite easily. These are definite marks you want to be getting on a paper. You don't want to be dropping marks on these questions. So it's 6p take away 3p. I always add together the positives and then collect up the negatives. There was only the negative 3p here. 6p take away 3p gives us an answer of 3p. Be careful on question B. It's really tempting to times them and say m to the power of 6. M cubed plus m cubed, we've got 2 lots of m cubed. And then collecting like terms at the end, we've only got one number, so it's just 10. And then we've got 2 lots of C and 2 lots of D. So we've got a plus 3C minus 7C. So we need to be careful here. 3 take away 7 is negative 4. So we've got negative 4C. And then we're going to collect up the D's. We've got plus 1D and plus 5D. So overall we've got plus 6D. It doesn't matter the order you write these in. 10 take away 4C plus 6D is that simplified. Question 11, we're just going to times the numbers together. 3 times 4 is 12. And we just put the t on the end. 3 times 4t is 12t. And then part B, always collect up the positive ones first. 8a plus 2a is 10a. Take away 3a. 10 take away 3 is 7. So 10 take away 3a is 7a. Question 12 is a 5 marker. These are 5 easy marks once you practice these. To times letters together, like this, powers for the same letter, we add together the 3 and the 4, m to the power of 7. And then I'm just going to draw this a bit bigger so we can see it. What we need to do is we need to, because the 3 on the outside of the brackets, we're going to raise everything to the power of 3, okay? So p cubed and then that cubed is p to the power of 9. Okay, now there's a hidden 1 here, it's implied. So we're going to do 1 times 3 for the n's, so we get n to the power of 3. And then a really common mistake here is people don't do 5 cubed, they just put a 5 here. So 5 cubed is 125. So overall our answer is 125 n times n cubed times p to the power of 9. Just going to put the highlighter on here just to show people, because these are, you can download the handwritten solutions for this if you want. So there'll be a link in the description if you want just to see the PDF file where I've written all these, you can. And then the final question here, we're going to do 32 divided by 4. That's what that fraction line means. It means divide. 32 divided by 4 is 8. q to the power of 9 divided by q to the power of 3. Remember, we don't do 9 divided by 3. We take away 3 from the 9 to give us q to the power of 6. And then r to the power of 4 divided by r to the power of 1, because there's a hidden 1 there. We take 1 off of 4 to give us r to the power of 3. Question 13 here, expand and simplify. So I'm just going to write it out a bit bigger for myself. I can try and use colours to show what's going on here. 5 times p is 5p. 5 times 3 is 15. You've got a couple of choices here. You either times everything by -2 for the second bit, or you times everything by +2 and remember to take it away. If you times by -2, it's probably the best way of doing it. -2 times 1 is -2. And then last of all, -2 times -2p is +4p. Negative times negative is positive, so that's what we get. And then now we get to here, we're going to collect up the like terms. So we've got a +5p and a +4p, which is 9p. And then we're just going to collect up the numbers. So we've got 15 and -2. 15 take away 2 is 13, and it's positive. So we put 9p plus 13. Okay, so there was expanding brackets there. If you're unsure of that, that would be something to practice. Last couple of questions, if you've been watching this far, hopefully pretty easy. A times b times 7, well, it's just 7ab. It means exactly the same thing, 7 times a times b. We just get rid of the time symbol. We tend to put the number at the start, and we tend to put the letters alphabetically. Y times y means we've got 3 y's times together, and the simplest way of writing that is y to the power of 3. That's what that little 3 there is telling you. It doesn't mean y times 3, it means there are 3 y's multiplied together. This next one here, I'm going to collect up the like terms. So we've got e to the power of 3 on top with an f. And then on bottom, we've got e squared. Oh, take that off that. And then f times f, f squared. I'm just going to add the colours in to make that really clear. And then how we do this is e cubed divided by e squared is e to the power of 1. You can put the 1 if you want. And then there's a hidden one here. F divided by f squared is f to the power of -1, because you do 1 take away 2. So we could write it like this, or we could have even written it like e divided by f, because we could have done it a different way, where you cancel out the letters on top and bottom. So I'll show you how you could have done that. What you can do is cross off an e on top and bottom. No more e's to cross off on top and bottom, but you can cross off an f on top and bottom and get e to the power of f. So a couple of ways of doing it. Maybe the second way is a bit nicer. Final question on this sheet. We're just collecting up the e's to start with. 4e plus 7e is 11e. And then we're going to collect up the f's, being careful of the negatives. We've got a positive 6f, take away f. So 6f, take away one of the f's, gives you a positive 5f. And that's our answer. So lots of practice there. It's a topic that comes up a lot. There are loads of sheets. Maths Genie, Corbett Maths have lots of sheets that you can do questions like this to practice. And if you go on my website, the link will be in the description. There's more sheets like this. and loads more videos like this where I'm going through past paper questions. Hopefully it was useful. Feel free to comment or like or subscribe, and watch some of my other videos. Thank you.